touches down in Guatemala with several tons of supplies.
Well, when they first told me on the telephone that it was a couple tons of stuff, they asked me if I was sitting down, and I said I wasn't. And they said, well, you better sit down. And they said, well, we have a couple tons of stuff. Not just a couple boxes, but tons. I just was like, I can't believe it, you know. I mean, and I thought of just Fort Myers compared to all the states, and to think that just that one place has just been touched so much, and I thank God for that. And I thank the people that have given from their hearts and from their homes, and to share with these children that haven't had the blessing. To me, it's God's blessing. It just shows that God has just touched more hearts to show about the school and to be able to share with more people about what's going on. And it's just a time of His, for me, it's an encouraging time to finish up the old year, bring in the new, with refreshment, with joy, to bring more to these children than we've ever thought we could do. A lot of people are questioning because our funds are going down. We were losing staff. We weren't getting the strength that we needed to be able to keep the school running. And last year we almost had to close the school. And a lot of people said, well, if you don't have the funds, are you going to have to close? And I said, no, I won't close until God tells me to close. Through just this, it just shows me that God still wants me to keep going. And I'll keep on going until He says stop. And He hasn't said stop yet, so.
Amazingly, the children with so little have spirits that soar.
Gracias.
They pay back the generosity with smiles to the well-wishers, whom they'll probably never meet.
Gracias. Gracias.
I really believe that the Lord is blessing this school and is allowing it to grow. And I believe that even though we may not keep this building, only the Lord knows what's going to happen. Next year is the end of the contract. But God is going to provide a place for our own, you know, where we can just construct, we can have it say, this is our place, this will be for the people. I really believe the Lord will give us in the future a piece of land big enough to construct even a community center where we can have the trade school and the school on it at the same time, where the parents can come and learn, but they can also work, so that they won't worry about being fed. They won't have to worry about any needs, but they can learn to be able to progress and to become somebody in the community and not just an outcast.
Seven years after opening the doors of Mi Refugio, the unthinkable occurs. The owners of the school building have decided to sell the building. And overnight, the sounds of hope are silenced. Everything that Kari has worked so hard for has vanished. And the children are back in the dump, sniffing glue to once again numb the pain.
I love them so much, and I just want to see them be okay, you know? They become a part of you. They become as if they're your own.
The school has been closed for an entire year. Kari searches for a new home for the school and runs down dozens of leads that all turn into dead ends. Another team of American journalists do what they can to help find a piece of land that would be appropriate. They arrange meetings with the United States Ambassador's office in Washington, and while everyone is sympathetic, no one really does anything that makes a difference. All seems lost until Paul Bush, a businessman from the United States, hears about Kari's needs and decides to help. He gives her the money she needs to put a deposit on her own piece of property in San Pedro. Soon, others also contribute to the cause of purchasing 12 acres of greenery located a 30-minute drive from the dump. The property is ideal to bring the children away from the smoldering embers of the dump to the serene setting of the countryside for the very first time.
Well, it's incredible is the only word that I can think of. We're here seeing all this, and I don't know if I really understand it all. I mean, there's unbelievable poverty. It's you see the birds and the garbage and people living in this, and yet I see kids smiling and trying to live some kind of a life, and life just goes on through all of this. I also see that with just so little help can mean so much to some of these kids and change their lives so much. And you know, Kari, what she's doing, an American woman, to come down here and live and get to know these people and gain their trust and try to create a new life for these kids to get out of here and to get into the mainstream and to become useful, happy people. I think what she's doing is just incredible.
While Kari appreciates the contributions, she's not at all comfortable with the status of saint.
I'm really nothing without God, and I'm nobody. And God is the one that has directed me to be here.
It's not charity in a sense where you're just giving away money. You're giving away something that's going to multiply. You're educating these children. You're giving them a new vision. That's going to change their lives. It has this multiplying factor, and if we can help them help themselves, that makes it worth a lot more.
When the school day ends, it's back to the dump for the children. I wanted to experience what their world was like at night. What is going on?
Well, as you can see, and you can hear it in the background, you can hear them picking through the trash, going through the trucks, still working.
Do the trucks come all day and all night with trash?
They don't come into the night. These are the last trucks that will come in, and later on, other particular trucks, like from the city or other people will come in, and they will either be robbed, or they will just dump their trash. They may run somebody over, not being able to see them.
The last garbage trucks make their way out of the dump well after nightfall. But the job of recycling goes on into the early morning hours. The children appear out of nowhere and just as quickly disappear into the darkness. On any given night, untold stories of sexual abuse and violence take place here under the cover of darkness. It was also here at night that Kari experienced an unforgettable tragedy involving the school's cook, Doña Juana.
One night, she and her husband went into the dump to pick through the trash, and a truck came where she was and backed up over her. And the husband tried to tell the driver that she was under the wheel, and she couldn't get out because he wouldn't move the truck.
When the truck finally did move, it was of little use because the ambulance refused to enter into the dump at night. Soon after, Doña Juana died. Doña Juana left behind 4 boys and an alcoholic husband who was unable to care for his children. It was up to Kari to care for the boys.
The father didn't want to take care of the kids. They didn't want to be a father to these 4 kids. So we just started praying, and we tried to take care of the kids, help him to become the dad and really become the strong point of the family. And he just couldn't handle it. He couldn't be the father. And he said he didn't want to have the kids anymore.